Alright friends, welcome to the rabbit hole. So what I got going on tonight is looping back to the source battery. This source battery runs the tube, and then I'm putting back some of the power back into the battery every time this capacitor dumps into the source battery, which is every time that light flashes right there. And then I'm charging this battery with the output off the plates, which is just the one wire, and the other wire goes right here to ground. Now what I've got here is an antenna in the attic, and that runs down back up to the source battery, and that's what's intensifying the tube to give me out the output that we're getting right now. And then in the last video I was running this cap dump onto another battery, that's K Energy's cap dump. He makes great cap dumps. You gotta go visit his site for sure. And yeah, so I was charging the other battery off of this guy, and I was coming off the positive of the battery, which is so strange. Shouldn't even happen like that. But all I did was, put a bridge rectifier on it. I was able to make this cap dump charge that other battery. But what happened was, I've been doing so many experiments, was I forgot to plug back in where it comes onto the positive of the bridge rectifier. And if you can see, it's not connected to anything. It's just sitting here, floating next to the battery. And watch. So I'll show you. So that comes off of there. That goes to the bridge rectifier. Let me reset this. And that is just the ground that goes right to there, that goes to the ground rod in the floor. So that's completely floating. And then the output goes to the cap dump, and then the other output goes to the other side of the cap dump. So that's completely radiant energy charging up this cap dump to put it back into the source battery. Right there, flash. Every time it flashes, it's putting 16 volts at 450 milliamps back into the source battery. And every time this one flashes, doing the same thing. There you go. So now what I want to show you is, this is pretty cool. So I got another bridge rectifier all set up right here, and that one just goes, so you got your ground wire that goes to the ground, and then we got the two outputs, and the two outputs are going, I gotta get those out of the way. Those are going to the meter, and right now the meter is reading 3.8 volts with that thing just kind of floating in the air. So now what I'm going to do is these are the other plates I made to go on top, but it throws it out of resonance, so I have to figure out the right ratio. But check this out. So if I take this guy, plug them onto there. So that those are the same amount of plates that are on here. So that's basically now a receiver coil hitting 26. You know, it's kind of bouncing around a little bit. We'll call it 26 volts because it keeps going up a little bit. You know, 25. Alright, so now I'll show you one more thing. Take that off of there. And then put this guy on here. So those are some of the plates I first started with, really thin. Now I'm gonna throw this guy on there. So I just connected, I took it off of there, connected to there. Oh, 327 volts. So that's what I was talking about. We get more energy all around it. You can see that this guy's still firing, and that's going back into the source battery. And that's literally is not connected. It goes to that bridge rectifier that goes back to that. You put it next to that battery. Give it a few seconds and it's going to fire. There he goes. That's the real radiant energy right there. Yep. So, pretty cool. Alright guys, sorry about holding the camera, but I wanted to try to get everything in there so everybody can see it. Very cool. Show you that fire one more time. Bam, that's going back in the source battery. And this is charging this little battery. I just threw a little battery on there. Just every time that flashes, that's charging that battery. Alright, man. Have a good one.